There's been quite a few controversies throughout. I mean, the history of the entire industry really is full of controversies. But even still, we still face it, especially with cobalt. So how can mining companies address that from an ESG perspective?
That's a very complex one, because I think a lot of controversies, related to cobalt, a lot of that is very much human rights, I would say, related, and that feeds into community relations. Working to have like a transparent supply chain for the most, and having the right approach to fair working conditions, policies that will have commitments that they're making to stakeholders and their workforce about fair working conditions, opportunities for local employment. There's some issues which again will kind of bleed into community relations, but human capital has that overlap where typical cobalt mining companies, they are located in, Democratic Republic of Congo, but there's issues with local procurement, and a lot of foreign workforce are coming in as opposed to it being focused on hiring locally, developing those communities, empowering the local communities to, earn skills, earn wages, improve their quality of life. So I think it's a big statement, but to, ultimately to focus on that local procurement angle would be, a first step.
And I think mining is a great example of how things are really come with the territory. You have different jurisdictions. So cobalt, 60% of it in DRC, you have all the human rights. If you want to move into a more, evolved jurisdiction, you have opposition to this project. So developed countries, communities being sophisticated, they simply say no. And I think part of it is because of the stigma and the image that the industry has. It's perceived as being, pretty bad.
Dirty or...
Right. Yeah. So mining is not easy. Everyone will recognize that. Companies admit that. So it's all about trying to do better. And what does this mean? You make commitments, you try to show what you've done. And maybe one trend is like finding better performance metrics that you can share and be specific and transparent on. And that touches upon labor as well, but also the other one would be third-party certification. So having, somebody from outside come and validate, how are you actually doing?